Hello, my name is Andrew. Today, what I'll be speaking about part two of human depopulation. Now, what's going on is many kinds of tricks that's going on, right? Now, what white supremacy does and these so-called Satanists does, these so-called white supremacy, right? They target African American males and Africans of all different continents financially. They target them financially. Now, when they target them financially, by not allowing them to get jobs, right? Even when they go to college and get different degrees and trying to get themselves a simple job, they say they are either overqualified to work there or just no opening. Now, many African Americans who can't get jobs, that's because they refuse to kiss Caucasian males' behinds. And they refuse to prostitute themselves to their managers or to their bosses so they don't get hired. Or they lose their job because they refuse to prostitute themselves to their managers or to their bosses, right? Now, what's going on nowadays is that many African American males can't get jobs because they want them financially unstable. If they are financially unstable, they are unable to get themselves jobs. No, excuse me. If they can't get jobs, they are financially unstable because they refuse to kiss up to Caucasians or prostitute themselves to their manager or to their boss. Now, if they are financially unstable, number one, right? They have a lower chance of them attracting a female in their communities. Number three, they can't afford to have children. Number four, they're going to be psychologically messed up. They're going to be too scared to have children because they don't want their children to go through the same suffering and misery they have went through. So they're going to be too scared to have children. Number four. Number five, if they do manage to get a woman pregnant, they're going to be placed on child support. Even if the male is there as a father and taking care of his responsibilities, the females could be trifling just that much, just to place them on child support and receive money from the government. By taking his money, what he made from a job, if he get a job some way and somehow, they're gonna wind up taking his money. They're gonna fuck him long and hard for 18 years. And six, right? If If a male don't have a job and he's financially unstable, eventually he gonna start selling drugs. Therefore, many African Americans are placed into captivity in prison, where they would stay at for 12 years, 20 years, 30 years, depending on how great the amount of drugs they had sold and what they were selling and what crimes they did while they was outside. Therefore, they lock many African American males up in prison for part of the human population, so that they could actually help decrease the African population greatly by not giving them jobs and offering them drugs to sell. And another thing that's going on is that if African American males are not stable financially and they have a harder chance of getting themselves a woman, and they have semen, so they have testosterone, and their testosterone is getting higher. Therefore, they bound to do something stupid and bold that's going to get them locked up in prison for the rest of their life. Because we have a lot of ignorant individuals who are negative because of their environment and the people who are around. Therefore, they do something stupid and bold because their testosterone level is too high, and they wind up in plus either two things wind up happening to them. If they can't get themselves a woman, their testosterone level is too high, and they do something stupid and bold, like shoot a person, like shoot multiple people to death because they said something they didn't like to them, something small, like call them a bitch or a punk, and he killed like 3 people and get locked up and spend the rest of their life in prison for about like 50 years, come out, now they old, no one don't want them, and they can't procreate now. And plan B, what goes on, is that they turn into a homosexual. Now, since they're interested in the same gender, they're not planning on sleeping with the opposite sex. They plan on being flaming homosexuals. And this is caused due to African American females mostly being materialistic. Now, when many of these African American females are going to work and they only around at the job place because they kissing up to their Caucasian bosses or their managers, or their bosses and managers are trying to sleep with them, and they keep trying, or they are sleeping with them, and they wind up getting the jobs, and they wind up still keeping their jobs and getting their own house, working while prostituting themselves just to support themselves. Many African American females in these communities, and when they see these Caucasian females and these African females with these Caucasian males, these Indian males, these Asian males, these Caucasian males, right? They want to be pampered. They want to be pampered just like those females who they see these men with, who have all this money, who have beautiful houses, live in a beautiful community. They want to be just like those females. So what do? They are drawn to males who have a lot of money financially. Therefore, the system consistently towards Caucasian males, Indian males, Asian males at these African American females. And when these Caucasian males get with these African American females, they paying for them. They give them anything what they want. They ice them out in jewelry and stuff. But what they don't understand, that most Caucasian males are part of the Ku Klux Klan and other demonic secret societies. So these Caucasian males who have a lot of money wind up beating up these African American females, calling them monkeys or coons behind doors, be putting their hands on them, smacking them, be treating them like those white women's off a Lifetime and police shows. And these African American females become the new girls in Hollywood. They become these new white girls. Well, they become the new girls in these horror movies. That's in reality. Like you see these Lifetime movies and these police shows, when you see these Caucasian males be chopping off the heads of these Caucasian females, be dismembering them and place them in the woods, be beating the hell out of them, be raping them anally, be tormenting them. That's what they doing to African American females when they move them away from their families into the white suburbs. Many of these African American females and these other African females of these of the Caribbean and other places have set themselves up to be abused and beaten and tortured and much more. Even set their own selves up to be killed systematically by a racist Caucasian male who's part of a secret society that hates people of other nations and see the African American female as a slave and as a concubine rather than as a human being, rather than as a person. Many people have been warned. Later, y'all.